Hey, what's going on guys? Randy here. Today we're going to be talking about leading lines and how you can use them to make your compositions more dynamic and draw people's attention into your photos. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so leading lines in my opinion are actually one of the most underutilized compositional elements in all of photography, and when used correctly they can really add a sense of depth to your images, and they can be really powerful because you can control how your viewer is looking at your photograph. You can control how they're moving through it. The easiest way to really illustrate this is to hop into the computer, look at some images that are using leading lines, and then we can talk about how you can start using leading lines in your photographs. Alright guys, so if we just take a look at this picture real quick, I use these little sandbanks as kind of more of like an implied leading line. So they're not super explicit, but all of these you can see are kind of leading back towards this little mountain right here, which was the main focus of this photo. So I just dropped my angle real low and figured out a way how to make these sand lines go towards that bank. If I would have been standing kind of more on the right side and had a different perspective, these lines would have actually gone away from the mountain, which would not have helped the composition at all. This would have just distracted the eye and kind of made the composition a little bit confusing. And that's something that we're going to want to keep in mind, is we always want our leading lines to actually point towards our subject. So in this, I wanted to use this road to point towards these little rock formations and then into the sky. So I just composed it in a way that this road would be winding this way and back rather than winding away from my subject to the left or to the right, because that would have just made the composition all confusing and out of whack. Alright guys, so if we just take a look at this one real quick, it's just a pretty similar thing. We just had the road here, and I used the road and then the little white stripes as my leading lines, and I just wanted the eye to go down the road back into this little cove, into this mountain with these little houses. So again, the main thing is just using the leading lines to actually point towards your subject, or if you just want it to go towards the horizon, just use the path to go down and use it as a vanishing point, which is kind of what I used in this photo right here. So I just had the road and that winds down, and then it just kind of goes towards the end to the vanishing point in the mountains. And that's really going to be the biggest thing with leading lines to remember, is to just always use them to point towards your subject and not away from them. And that's kind of the hardest thing to master, is how to use these leading lines to actually go towards what you want them to. But once you can do that, you're going to get these really powerful dynamic images. So that's leading lines. Let me know if you have any questions, and just get out there, start looking for some leading lines the next time that you're out taking photographs. You know, look for some windy roads, look for some rocks, some rock formations that kind of lead you in, and just start playing around with using leading lines to guide you into your focal point. And of course, smash that like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe, I've got a lot of more cool content coming, and see you next time.